Then let me welcome Linda Fisk, and I'm going to get you here on the screen, one and two. And Linda, it's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm really looking forward to the conversation. Looking forward to hear your type of view around freedom entrepreneurship. But please start and introduce yourself a little bit because I know you are doing incredible things. How you are supporting entrepreneurial women and leaders is unbelievable. So please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself. You are muted, by the way.
Yeah, there we go. So thank you so much, Stephan. And hello, everyone. I'm Linda Fisk, and I serve as the chairwoman of an organization called Leadership Global, as well as the president of an AI-powered platform called CurveUp. CurveUp is an AI-powered platform and a curated growth ecosystem that helps founders and business leaders know what to do next. So CurveUp combines intelligent guidance with trusted experts, investors, business services, tools, and practical support so that people like you, people that are running businesses, entrepreneurs, founders, innovators, trailblazers, can move forward with more clarity, more confidence, and more momentum. So that's really what I'm excited to talk about today is freedom entrepreneurship, how to grow and scale your business. And I got to tell you, Stephan, your comments in the keynote were so spot on. It was absolutely so inspiring to listen to you because I agree. A lot of business owners don't have a growth problem first. They have a dependency problem.
Oh my
Freedom
God.
is
Yeah.
not doing less, it's building better. If the business can't move without your constant intervention, it's growing, but it's not yet scaling. And like you recommended, we partnered with CurveUp because we want leaders to know what to do next and to connect to the right support at the right time. So I'm super excited to be here with you and to be a part of today's conversation and to tell you about what I've learned because I've spent a great deal of time working with CEOs, founders, and leadership teams. So I see firsthand where people get stuck, where they lose time, and what it really takes to grow a business in a sustainable way.
That's amazing. It's great to have you, Linda. Absolutely. So let's jump right to it. What does freedom mean for you as an entrepreneur? What's your definition of freedom?
Yeah, I will tell you, I'm super excited about this topic, Stephan. Thank you. And when people hear a topic like freedom entrepreneurship, I think many people immediately think about revenue, systems, hiring, scale. And I got to tell you, all that matters. But for me, freedom entrepreneurship starts one layer deeper. It starts with this question. Are you building a business that depends on you for everything? Or are you building a business that creates more choice, more capacity, and more sustainability over time? Because I'll tell you, a lot of very smart people don't actually have a growth problem. They have a dependency problem. Too much of the business lives in their head. Too many decisions flow through them. Too much progress depends on their time, their energy, and their personal intervention. So even when a business is growing, it can still feel heavy. It can feel like success is arriving, but freedom is not. And that's why this conversation matters so much. Growth and freedom are not always the same thing. If you don't decide for freedom intentionally, growth can actually increase pressure rather than reduce it. And you know the stats as well as I do. More than 60% of entrepreneurs worldwide close their doors within the first 5 years. Why? It's that increasing pressure. That is where better structure, better systems, better sequencing, and better support becomes critical. And that's also why I believe platforms like CurveUp are so timely. And what I like about Curve Up is that it doesn't just give leaders AI powered guidance, it also connects them to the right support, the experts, the services, the tools, the practical resources, so that growth becomes more intentional and less overwhelming. So, again, when I think about freedom entrepreneurship, I'm really thinking about this. How do we build businesses that are not just bigger, but they're smarter, they're stronger, they're more scalable, and less dependent on constant personal rescue?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I love what you just said, Linda, because dependencies versus choices. And that's really, really one of the core things. So, talking about dependencies, do you think or do you see it's more because of a mindset issue that a lot of entrepreneurs trap themselves and hold everything close to them? Or is it more because a lack of knowledge, skill, lack of leadership skills? They don't know what business architecture they should set up.
Yeah, you just mentioned two great systemic issues that create this sort of culture of dependency, right? Those are two incredibly important systemic issues. For me, freedom entrepreneurship means building a business that creates more choice, more capacity, more sustainability, not just more activity. It means the business can grow without requiring the founder or the leader to
Mm.
carry every single decision, every relationship, every point of execution personally. I think a lot of people start a business because they want freedom, but then they end up building something that's completely dependent on them.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of creating freedom, the business creates pressure, it creates stress, it creates long hours, it creates working weekends. And that's why I define freedom entrepreneurship very practically. It means building a business that is clearer, more structured, less reactive, more scalable, and less dependent on constant personal rescue. So to me, the real freedom is not just doing less, it's about building better from the very beginning. And Stephan, that's what your keynote was all about. Build better from the very beginning.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. So I see this in every single mentor call, in every single coaching session, what we do in our CHC Academy. And we see it over and over and over again, especially a lot of successful people. They have the money. They could have freedom, but they just built it to trap themselves, or they cannot let go. Both is very, very common. Yeah.
Yeah, and Stefan,
So
I will tell you
yeah,
that the biggest barrier that I see is that most people try to scale
yeah.
on top of confusion. They're working hard, they're doing a lot, they're staying busy, but they are often scaling without enough clarity
Oh, yeah.
around what matters most, what should happen next, where the real bottlenecks are, what should be delegated, systematized, or just stopped.
Yeah.
There's a lot of activity that actually does not move the needle, and you can make the choice to stop doing those things so
That's
they
an amazing
grow.
question. Sorry to jump in and interrupt you, Linda. That's one of the best questions entrepreneurs can ask. Whatever I'm doing at the moment, does it move the needle or is it just consuming time? Yeah, so I love that.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, they grow, but the business gets heavier.
Oh,
And
yeah.
in my experience, the issue is usually not lack of ambition, it's dependency and fragmentation. There are
Yeah.
too many disconnected tools, too many moving parts, too many decisions happening without enough structure. There's too much living in the founder's head. And when that happens, growth can actually increase complexity faster than it increases freedom. And that's why I believe leaders need better navigation, better support, not just more effort. Most of the founders that I work with are incredibly hardworking. They're absolutely committed to their vision and mission, but they have created a structure either very innocently or by design that is completely dependent on them.
Yeah. So, Linda, about your own story, because you are doing so many things, and I hear this from a lot of people. Oh my God, how is Linda doing that? She's doing that and that and that, and she's everywhere and she's accomplishing so much. Unbelievable. Yeah. So, have you
Yeah.
been in a situation yourself in your entrepreneurial journey where on the outside, everything looked already amazing, but actually you personally felt, oh my God, I'm totally stuck when it comes to freedom. And that's not what I wanted to have or where I want to be. And if so, what did you change or how did you start to really change it also internally?
I will tell you, my first year of business for myself, I found that I was given enormous opportunities very quickly. Come speak, come be on a TV show. Why don't you partner with us for the development of this new product? Hey, why don't you create an event with us? Why don't you, so there were all of these incredible opportunities that were being provided to me. It was an incredible riches and abundance of blessing. It was. But what I found is I said yes to everything because I wasn't really sure what made sense to say no to.
Mhm.
So by saying yes to everything, what ended up happening is I began chasing a lot of shiny objects. I began really becoming very fragmented in my approach. And at the end of that year, I looked back and said, holy cow, we did so much. And I'm so proud of everything that we were able to accomplish. But I am fully and absolutely exhausted. So,
Yeah.
what am I going to change this next year? What am I going to change? And I will tell you, it's a mindset shift.
Mhm.
And it was this: stop
Absolutely.
asking, how do I do more? How can I say yes? Who can I say yes to? And start asking, how do I build a business that depends less on me? And that was a major shift. And that's when I began investing in staff,
Mhm.
systems, processes that did not rely on me. Everything in Leadership Global is automated.
Mhm.
And now we're bringing Curve up to everyone in Leadership Global so that they have the same opportunities to automate and systematize and really accelerate their success without dependency on them. Because many leaders are still rewarded internally for being the smartest person in the room, the fastest responder, the problem solver, the one who can jump in anywhere. But I will tell you, that's
Always
not,
putting out fires, constantly putting
yes,
out fires
yes.
all day long. Yeah.
But that's not scalable leadership.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's just highly capable over involvement. And that was absolutely where I was in my first year. I was overly involved in everything. And I was saying yes to everyone. I was saying yes to every single opportunity that was provided to me. But I got to tell you, if you want freedom, you have to move from being the center of everything to being the architect of something stronger. That means building better systems, better decision making, better sequencing, better delegation, better support, and better visibility into what matters next. And again, that's one of the reasons why Curve Up resonates with me, because it's built around helping people know what to do next while also connecting them to the right support structure so growth doesn't feel like constant overload.
Absolutely. So I love what you just said about the architect because I took a bunch of notes already. The architecture is so important. We actually have a question from our audience. So, what is the difference between freedom and life quality for you?
To me, they're synonymous. So my quality of life is very much dependent on the level of freedom that I have in my life. Now, listen, everyone's definition of success is different, right? And some people really do love the spotlight and they do want to say yes to every single opportunity that comes to them
Mhm.
for TV interviews, podcast interviews, stage talks, whatever. They love that. They absolutely thrive on that. Good for them. I'm so glad about that. But I will tell you, for me, I don't want to build a business that requires my involvement. I really hope to retire someday. How am I going to build a business that allows me to retire comfortably and know that I've created a legacy that will endure beyond me? I've created a legacy and I've created a structure that will endure well beyond my lifetime. That's what I want to create. And for me, the best role of AI is not replacing the entrepreneur, it's reducing the burden on the entrepreneur. So for me, being an entrepreneur, it's about how do I define success? And for me, freedom and success are synonymous. And then how do I create something that is lasting well beyond my lifetime? How do I create enduring legacy? And for me, it's having an AI powered platform that will scale quickly and help hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs accelerate their success. That's my legacy. And that's what will endure well beyond my lifetime.
That's incredible. Absolutely. And that's the cool thing with technology because we literally can amplify our reach and can amplify the support. Because with my 25 years of experience, of course, I can tell it one person at a time. I can have one coaching at a time. Or we use technology like we are doing, for example, in our own CHC Academy, where we teach entrepreneurs on how to grow and scale their business. Or we can add an AI or more technology to even
Yes.
reach more people that they can have, hey, I just asked this AI and I know, okay, that's where I should focus on, or that's the root cause of the issue or the bottleneck or where I'm stuck at the moment. So that's
Oh,
very,
so
very
smart,
cool. Yeah.
Stephan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and as you just said, used well, AI can help leaders reduce friction,
Yeah.
save time, organize complexity, clarify priorities, speed up decisions, and improve consistency. And that matters because entrepreneurial pressure often comes from mental overload. There's just too many loops, too many decisions, too many things that are half started, that are half clear, that are half coordinated. So if AI can help reduce that burden, it can also help create real leverage. But again, the real value is not just automation. The real value is better navigation, better support around that navigation. And that's where, again, CurveUp stands out to me. It's not just another tool. It combines AI powered guidance with a trusted ecosystem of experts like you, Stephan, investors, business services, practical resources, so people can move forward with more clarity, more confidence, and more momentum.
Yeah. Linda, I had a very interesting interview a couple of days ago around freedom entrepreneurship, and we were actually talking about internal versus external freedom. And what I experienced in my own entrepreneurial journey is I always found it easier to create external freedom compared to internal freedom. So, what do I mean with external freedom? Building a business architecture, having a strategy in place, having processes in place. So things where I create an SOP or where I hire somebody or where I delegate something, where I just build an organization. Internal freedom, though, which is my mindset, my limiting beliefs, all the bullshit that got placed in my mind by society, my upbringing, my parents, social media, and all these things. I experience it always harder to get this internal freedom. And especially when I have time, when I step back, my mind tends to be flooded with this bullshit. Do you also experience a difference between this internal, external freedom, and especially how do you deal with this internal freedom?
Yeah, Stefan, as always, you're so right on, and that is a brilliant insight. And I think that it really has to do with controlling your mind and not allowing you to sort of go into those kind of spiral, that kind of spiral thinking, right? It's about saying, nope, I'm not going to give over to that kind of spiral thinking, that kind of doomsday thinking, that kind of really unproductive thinking. So I would focus on three things. When you feel overwhelmed, like, I can't do this, this is too much, I give up, I don't want to, right now the economy is horrible, no one's going to buy this at this price point. Well, who am I to bring this to the marketplace at this price point? There are people out there that do this better than I do. How can I even think that I have the right to be in this marketplace providing this service? There are other people that are better than me. Whenever any of those insecurities or that negative thinking or that loop thinking begins, I would focus on three things first. First, your decision structure. You need a clear way to decide what matters most, what comes next, and what does not deserve attention right now. What you will find is when you're caught in that kind of internal loop of thinking, you are brought well outside the path of decision making that is you're focused on right now. So you need a clear way to stay focused on what matters most, what comes next, and what does not deserve attention right now. Second is your support structure. You need the right people around you to realign you, to get you back on focus. You need the tools and resources around you so the business is not flowing always back to you, right? You need the right people and tools and resources so the business is flowing in the direction of those people or processes or systems that need to take responsibility for that task. And the third is execution structure. You need a repeatable way to move work forward so growth is not dependent on you and you playing the role of hero, right?
Yeah.
Burnout, I think, often happens when leaders are carrying too much ambiguity for too long. So if you are unclear about systems, processes, priority, that will begin to fog your decision making. If you're caught in ambiguity for too long, what happens is procrastination. What happens is overwhelm. What happens is burnout. So if you want to scale without burning out, you also need to reduce your ambiguity. That means creating more clarity around priorities, responsibilities, and next steps. And that's also one reason I think curated ecosystems really matter. Leaders do not just need information, they need access to the right support at the right time.
Yeah. I can't agree more. I literally can't agree more. I really love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. We have one question from the chat, and Nick asked basically, what process do you use to select your tribe or team? Very short from my side. For me personally, it's literally, I need to have my vision for myself and my company in place, and then I need to have my mission, and based on that, my core values. And I always match my new team members in the hiring process based on, is there an alignment with our vision, mission, and our core values? Otherwise, we do not even start to work with them. And that's one of the core interviews, what we are doing. But there is also a saying, hire slow, fire fast. And unfortunately, that's true. That's not the easy way, because we need to fill a role fast because we think, okay, we need to the support immediately. But then we stay with this person so long and we got frustrated and we waste our own time and our the time from our other employees. But let me tell you something. There are 8 billion plus people out there. So if you do not have the right team member on your team yet, and if it's not your core values and they are constantly violating your own core values and the core values from your business, it's your responsibility as a leader to get rid of this person and find a person who is a good fit for you. So
I love that, Stephen. And I will say that, very similar set of kind of boundaries around our hiring. I will tell you one secret that we implemented about 5 years ago that has been really helpful. We always start with a pilot. So, and we tell someone, hey, let's work together on a pilot project or a pilot timeline, or let's work together in a fractional way or a time-bound way. So I'm going to hire you for the next 60 days, 90 days. I'm going to hire you for this one particular project. I'm going to hire you for this one particular task. And we're going to test it out. We're going to see if this works for you and if this works for us. So there's no long-term commitment. There's an understanding that this is a pilot project. This is a pilot initiative, or this is a short-term initiative or project or whatever. And it's time-bound, or it's based on a particular set of deliverables, or it's based on a particular project. But we begin it as almost a test, just to be sure that there's synergy between what they're looking for and what we're offering, and what our expectations are, and what the skill set and energy level of the person is that we're testing out. Yeah. Then once we create that time-bound opportunity for someone, we go through a very, very detailed understanding of what matters to them, what motivates them, what drives them. And as Stephan said, what are their values? Are their values aligned with ours? Do they understand our mission and vision? And they're fired up about it. This is something that's important to them. It's part of who they are, it's part of their DNA. And last is, are they a growth minded individual? Is their mindset more about growth and development or more about achievement and success? The reason why that's important is I have found that our business evolves and changes pretty regularly, right? So people's roles change, people's responsibilities change, the economy changes, the dynamics of the marketplace change, our services evolve and change, our offerings evolve and change. And if we are with other people in our team that have the growth minded mindset, meaning they see opportunity, they're willing to pivot, they're willing to grow, they're willing to change, and they see that as an opportunity, then they're going to be someone who will be with us long term. But if they're more focused on achievement and success, saying, this is my role, this is what I do, this is what I have to achieve in order to get to the next level, this is what I have to do in order to increase my income or my title or my role, and I want to stay narrowly in my lane and I want to do what I was hired to do and nothing more, then that person is probably going to have limited success in an entrepreneurial environment where things change really regularly. So we want to make sure they have a growth mindset. They understand our mission and vision, are fired up about it. We have alignment on values, and we test out everyone before we hire them.
That's amazing, Linda. I can't agree more. And Nick, if you have additional questions, feel free to use this growth call. And I'm super happy to share exactly how we are hiring people and share our interview process and what step-by-step process we are walking our people through, and how we also get a lot of people apply for a job. Because when we recently hired new sales reps, we literally got 124 people apply for the job within 48 hours, which is very easy to find amazing people afterwards if you have a great pool of people who just applied for the job. Linda, thank you so much. I could go on and on and on. We are already a couple of minutes over time, so I appreciate your insights so much. Thank you for that. That was really incredible. So a huge shout out and a huge applause for Linda Fisk. You are amazing.